Welcome back, guys. We are back with another episode and we are going straight in to why the all or nothing mindset is actually just fucking your results.
You heard it here first.
Because it is impacting your business, it's impacting your fitness, it's impacting you in ways that you don't even imagine. And it is so easy to get stuck in this trap. We speak to women every single day who either look at food, they look at training, they look at business with this all in or all out energy. And it's the thing that's really stopping you from sticking to anything for long enough to get the result you're wanting. So we want to talk about how that's actually showing up in your life and what we would do instead.
The perfectionism mindset. And we all know that you can't achieve perfection. Like perfection doesn't exist, right? But why do we constantly fall into this, well, if it's not perfect, fuck it, I'm not doing it mindset? And 9 times out of 10, I would say that this comes from one, you probably have really high expectations of yourself, which I feel like if you are a go-getter, and I know you listening to this podcast, you probably are, it's quite natural for you to have high expectations of yourself. If you want to start a business, you probably have the mindset of, yeah, cool, I have high expectations. But the way that I look at perfectionism, which is often linked with procrastination, because a lot of the time, if it's not perfect, I'm not doing it, we just procrastinate doing the thing that we want to do, is usually because you are afraid, right? And I know that sounds really generalized, but when I think to perfectionism, I think to procrastination. When I look at procrastination, I think you're just trying to avoid doing something that either scares you, pushes you outside your comfort zone, makes you feel some kind of way, which is usually some kind of fear-based response. So the way that I would, I think, move through the perfectionism mindset to start off with is ask yourself, what am I trying to avoid, right? Is it launching the business? Is it posting the content? Is it getting into the gym? Is it losing the 10 kilos because you're worried that people judge you for tracking your calories? Like actually get down to the root cause of why you keep procrastinating, why you move into the, well, if I can't do it 100% perfect right now, I may as well not do it at all.
Yep. And I see this show up in the fitness space in the mindset of starting something. So let's go back to how we're actually procrastinating under the guise of all or nothing and perfectionism. So let's just say you've decided you want to improve your fitness, but you spend all of this time researching the perfect method, the perfect coach, the perfect this, and you spent so much time essentially not taking action because you're waiting for something magical to happen for it to feel good. But when you make any change in fitness, it's not going to always be perfect or aligned or good. There's going to be that initial discomfort and you can't avoid that. So the biggest shift that I've personally felt when I have felt this way has just been this overarching understanding that if I want to do anything, there has to be a level of discomfort that comes with it. And there has to be a level of messiness potentially and just an understanding that I'll figure it out as I go. If you can accept that when you start on your fitness journey, there's going to be discomfort, there's going to be things that you're not sure about, but you're trusting yourself that as long as you keep at it, it's going to get easier, it's going to get better, then you will be in a much better position versus if you don't start because it's not the right time or it's not the perfect program or you've had an off day, then you're just not going to start and you're going to be stuck in the same place that you are right now in 12 months' time, waiting for that perfect time and that perfect program to come around. So that's how I see it show up in fitness quite a lot. It's just the excessive researching and comparison and it's just like, just jump, do something. Like that's actually what you need to do because the person who takes messy action this week in 12 weeks' time is 12 weeks ahead of you waiting for the perfect time.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And then the other side to this is what we see, and this goes for everything, is well, if it's not perfect, I've already halfway there, but I fucked something up, so I don't care anymore. Who cares? I'm just going to throw in the towel. How do we stop ourselves from moving in that mindset? I think when it comes, and this applies to everything, but let's just speak to health and fitness for a second. When it comes to health and fitness, if you have one off day, if you go out on the weekend, you drink a little bit too much, you overeat your calories, you miss your training session, you get sick, it doesn't mean that that one day overrides all of the level of effort that you've put in for the past 8 weeks. If you have one bad day, instead of looking at it through a lens of this is the bad day, black or white, all or nothing mentality, if it's not perfect, I'm not doing it. Can you move that mindset to, cool, I've had a pretty shitty day. I overate my calories. I missed my training session. I got sick. I couldn't hit my steps, insert whatever the thing is. And instead of that derailing the rest of your progress that you're going to continue to make, go, cool, it's just one day. Tomorrow, I'm just going to get straight back onto my normal routine like I've done for the past 8 weeks. When you have one shit time or even a shit week or a shit month, and you allow that to snowball into 6 months or 12 months, that's when you feel like it is getting out of control. And that's when you feel like, cool, I actually can't achieve this goal. And then you reaffirm to yourself when you are in that black or white mindset. So we throw in the towel every single time something gets hard or we can't be perfect. You reaffirm to yourself that, yeah, you can't do it. So then every single time you decide to restart your fitness journey, restart your business, aim for the promotion, black or white, all or nothing mindset comes in, you've reaffirmed you can't do it. And every time you try to start again, you can't start again because it's 10 times harder. Versus if you become the person that is more adaptable, understands, like I said, cool, it's one day, whatever, you are going to find achieving your result easier and you're also going to trust yourself a hell of a lot more.
Yeah. I love the mindset with nutrition of just getting back into it the next meal. It doesn't need to be waiting until Monday. I think that is a really common trap. You've eaten really well Monday to Friday and then you've had like some social thing on a Friday night and then you think to yourself, oh, well, I'll just keep this going until Monday. And then you're like, oh, well, I'm not making the progress I'm wanting or progress is inconsistent. And it's just because you're taking this approach where it's like all in during the week and off on the weekend. So I would say, okay, I've eaten out on a Friday night, but I'm just going to get back into things the next meal, the next day. If you do that, then that small social thing is a blimp in your overall progress. It's nothing. It's only something when it spirals out of control. So just getting back into it, I also think like the do something mentality really helps as well rather than these extremes. So you've wanting to be really good with food, but then you've left your meal prep at home, or you're wanting to train, but then something's come up. It's like, what can you do? Can you do steps instead of training because you've left, it too late? Can you get something from Coles and throw it together rather than going from what you had meal prepped at home to, getting some takeaway or whatever? There's always something that you can do, and it doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be as good as you can do. And if you can be happy with as good as I can do, that's going to get you a lot further than the stopping and starting all the time. The analogy that I always like to think of when it comes to progress tracking is, let's just say one of your tires has been slashed, aka you've had a big night out or something's happened like that. You don't go around and slash the other 3 tires and just continue the sabotaging. You just get back into it. Like no one would do that. And I think that that's actually what we're doing if we think about it in the long run. So just take a step, pause, and then think about what can I do next.
I like the analogy of like, if you run out of petrol, do you just decide to never fill your car up again? Or do you just go to a gas station and fill your car up and then continue on your journey? You probably just do that same kind of thing. The other thing that I wanted to also mention is just controlling the controllables. Exactly like what Gemma said. It's like the do something mentality. The thing that I say to my clients is like, what is in your control right now? And if we know, for example, you're sick, a lot of the time people get sick, they get a cold, they get run down, maybe they're injured, maybe they're recovering from a surgery, and they feel like, oh, well, I've had 3 weeks off. I've had 4 weeks off. I had 6 weeks off, whatever it is. It's like, can you just control the controllables? If you can't go to the gym, you can still eat good. If you can't hit your steps, you can still prioritize your sleep. If you can't, eat nutritious meals because maybe you're traveling, you don't have access to a kitchen, it's catered for you. Cool, you can still hit your steps. There's always something that you can do, but it's looking at it through the lens of like, what is in my control right now? Because I can guarantee you that all of those things, health and fitness related, at one time are not going to be completely out of your control. There's always something that you can focus on. And instead of going, well, cool, I can't eat good, so now I'm not going to go to the gym, I'm not going to hit my steps, I'm not going to prioritize my sleep, I'm not going to stay hydrated. It's like, cool, I can't eat good, but I'm still going to hit my sessions, hit my steps, etc. When we fall into when one thing derails, we decide to derail absolutely everything. That's when it's a slippery slope to, again, spinning your wheels and not actually, you're almost chasing, you find yourself in the position of like chasing the same result but not progressing, or the same position but not progressing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I like to think of it as like if you were going up a ladder, you would just be taking a step forward, taking a step back, taking a step forward, taking a step back, versus the person who is doing something, doing their best, focusing on what they control. They're still moving up. They're still moving forward. So do that.
Don't you find it so silly? Like now we're talking about the all or nothing mentality, that perfectionist, that black and white thinking, how dumb it sounds. Like realistically, when we put it that way, it's like you're going up and down a ladder. You decide to drive your car, you run out of fuel. What, you just leave your $40,000 car on the side of the road and forget about it, never get in it again? It's so dumb. But why? Like we always fall into that mindset. It's like if it's not perfect, it's not happening. It's like how after this episode, girls, can you actually go, all right, cool. I notice that I'm a perfectionist. I notice that I procrastinate. I notice that I avoid. What can I actively do to stop doing that? Because if you are someone who wants to achieve a goal and you find yourself always falling short or giving up before you've even really given yourself the opportunity to try, it probably comes down to the fact that you are in that black or white mindset, that you are chasing that perfectionism. And also, like I said at the start of this podcast, you're probably only falling into that perfectionism or black or white, all or nothing mindset because it's fucking hard. And when something is hard, weight loss, getting into the gym, starting a business, doing something outside your comfort zone, what's the easiest thing to do?
Stop.
Abort the mission, too hard basket. I'll just claim that I'm a perfectionist because then everyone will be like, oh yeah, cool. Like, she just wants everything to be perfect. She works really hard. It's all just a mask. And I think when you learn how to look at it through that lens, it's going to be 80 times easier for you to get where you want to go.
Yeah, I think the awareness is a huge part as well as just learning to call yourself out, because creating that awareness, and even it can just be writing down like, why did I not follow through with fitness the last few times? Why did I stop XYZ the last time? And you might even after this episode start to identify, oh, I didn't realize I did that, but I'm actually actively doing that without realizing. I think that can be really good. So making a bit of a conscious effort to audit why your last few fitness attempts haven't worked or why you have fallen off the wagon with nutrition. If I think about at the start of my fitness journey, the reason that I struggled with nutrition so much is because I was very extreme. I wanted results yesterday, so I did like a really restrictive diet, and then it got too hard, so I stopped, right? And if you just take a moment to realize that, you can be like, okay, those methods haven't worked so far, so I can either keep going around in circles and keep doing that, or now I can use what I know, knowing what I know now, to shift my mindset, to expect things to be difficult, but to keep being adaptive and knowing that that's going to be the thing that allows me to move through this once and for all.
And one more thing I'm going to add before we wrap it up is if you are someone who constantly finds that this is a problem for you, get help. Seek support, hire a coach, get help. Because if that is the hamster wheel that you're constantly stuck on and you can't seem to break it on your own, clearly the method that you are choosing right now, whether it's with your business, whether it's with your fitness, whether it's with your nutrition, whether it's with your mindset, is not working. So you need to get either help, support, guidance outside of what it is that you're currently doing. And I find a lot of girls that come to me who have that black or white mentality, it's like you said, they come from a place of restriction. They come from a place of avoiding things that are hard and they've always failed in the past, so it's reaffirmed that they can't do it. But once you actually have a clear-cut plan of this is what you're going to do for the next 10 weeks, this is what you're going to do for the next 6 months, whatever the thing is, you are going to be able to get rid of that perfectionist all or nothing mindset and actually achieve the goals that you want.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it just comes down to direction. Like if you're lacking direction, it's going to be easy to stop when things don't go to plan because you don't have a plan. So as soon as something happens, you just stop. So again, I think that having the support, having the coach, asking for guidance, focusing on education rather than this cycle that you're stuck in is going to pay off tenfold because you're actually going to understand the why behind what you're doing and you're actually going to have direction, which inadvertently is quite motivating, just having something to be aiming towards and then having things to keep you accountable.
And then just remember every single time you go, I'm a perfectionist, all or nothing mentality, Kate Morris's little voice is going to be in your ear saying, that's so silly of you. When you say that out loud, that sounds very, very silly. Because now we speak about it, it's like, how silly is it?
Yeah.
It's pretty dumb. Alrighty, girlies. That wraps up another episode. Thank you so much for listening. If you're over on Spotify, don't forget to rate this podcast 5 stars. And if you are over on our YouTube family, like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you very soon. Love you. Bye.
Bye.